All Americans, not only in the states most heavily affected, but in every place in this country, are rightly disturbed by the large numbers of illegal aliens entering our country. The jobs they hold might otherwise be held by citizens or legal immigrants. The public service they use impose burdens on our taxpayers. That's why our administration has moved aggressively to secure our borders more, by hiring a record number of new border guards, by deporting twice as many criminal aliens as ever before, by cracking down on illegal hiring, by barring welfare benefits to illegal aliens. In the budget I will present to you, we will try to do more to speed the deportation of illegal aliens who are arrested for crimes, to better identify illegal aliens in the workplace as recommended by the commission headed by former Congresswoman Barbara Jordan. We are a nation of immigrants, but we are also a nation of laws. It is wrong and ultimately self-defeating for a nation of immigrants to permit the kind of abuse of our immigration laws we have seen in recent years, and we must do more to stop it.
Wow. I said, wow. If I didn't know any better, I would think this was Trump. It sounds a lot like Trump. And this is President Clinton at a State of the Union way back in the day. I mean, way back in the day. Oh, and did I mention he was a Democrat? I've said many times, so I'm going to throw it out there again. Sometimes it's good to go back so you can see forward. I mean, this immigration thing has been with us for a while. In the 30s, we dealt with it. And yeah, there's a Hail Mary. We're dealing with it again. Does it have to be as bad as it is now? I was checking out Glenn Beck earlier. I've been waiting on his podcast, if you will, to talk about this immigration issue. He makes the moral case for mass deportation. He asked the question, is it too late? I've asked the question as well. But yeah, we got Mr. Steel Bill, Mr. Saxophone. Oh man. I hate that we're in this stew, but we are. We've been able to muddle through this thing. It seems to me something so easy if you just do it. We play sports, we do it. We run businesses, we do it. We have a government, it gets worse. Now let's hear, this is from 8 years ago, it says CNN, Clinton, Trump's deportation plan, terrible, offensive. That's gotta be Hillary, right? Let's see what she had to say back in the day.
Well, my understanding is that the comment you just referred to was the third different position he took yesterday on immigration. Somebody has told him, I guess the latest people that he's consulting, how damaging his statements have been, how terrible his deportation plan is, how offensive his views on immigrants have been from the very first day of his campaign. So he's trying to do, a kind of a shuffle here. But I think we need to look at the entire context. We need to believe him when he bullies and threatens to throw out every immigrant in the country. And certainly when he changes his position 3 times in one day, it sends a message that it's just a desperate effort to try to land somewhere that isn't as devastating to his campaign as his comments and his positions have been up until now.
Now, that's
Donald Trump.
That's interesting. You know why? I said it was interesting. She ran against him and she lost. Did the people speak back in the day? Was immigration an integral part of this? And wasn't she married to Bill? Did I get this wrong? Wasn't she married to Bill? And again, when I checked out Glenn Beck, if I didn't mention it, his stats say that Bill sent 12 million back. 12 million, and I'll get to that. Glenn Beck is saying that he has the largest deportation move in American history. And now here she comes saying, well, hi, Bill. Well, she's on stage now, and this is 10 years ago. Clinton gets blowback on immigration. Let's see how she responds.
Hillary Clinton's most impassioned and human moments in CNN's town hall on President Obama's policy of aggressively deporting illegal immigrants.
Children coming home from school to an empty house and nobody can say where their mother or their father is. That is just not who we are as Americans.
But moments later, a starkly different take on an exploding crisis. Children crossing the border to the U.S. alone, illegally.
They should be sent back as soon as it can be determined who responsible adults and their families are.
Immigration advocates say she's speaking out of both sides of her mouth.
If you want Latinos to stand with you, if you want the immigrant community to see you as a champion on this issue, you're going to have to make some difficult choices, and you're going to have to take a firm position. Yeah, but it didn't seem that way yesterday.
Then there's Benghazi, the 2000.
You know what gets me about this kind of crap? Is that people get over here and they tell us we got to make decisions. The only decision that should be made is you come over here legally. I mean, look. Can you imagine going to China or Russia and speaking your mind, what you just heard? And I'm not knocking her or any group. I'm just saying the boldness of people. What happened to the rule of law? She has said, and quote, put it in the comment section if you remember. This woman has said the rule of law more than anybody. So I don't know what she's talking about. And again, I'm not hating on any origin. All I'm saying is that she needs to have a conversation with some people who've been here for a while, who did it the right way. You challenge it, you based it on the law. We become so liberal that people who come over here, they have the audacity to challenge the country on following the law. It's wrong all day. It is wrong. But here it is, Miss Rule of Law. Talking about Obama, right? Yeah, he was Democrat. How many did he bring over? I think his number was 3 million. Now watch this here. Here's one from 8 years ago. Bill Clinton in 1995 called for deportation. Criminal aliens. Here we go.
All Americans, not only in the states most heavily affected, but in every place in this country, are rightly disturbed by the large numbers of illegal aliens entering our country. The jobs they hold might otherwise be held by citizens or legal immigrants. The public service they use impose burdens on our taxpayers. That's why our administration has moved aggressively to secure our borders more, by hiring a record number of new border guards, by deporting twice as many criminal aliens as ever before, by cracking down on illegal hiring, by barring welfare benefits to illegal aliens.
And like I said, he's a Democrat. He sounds just like Trump. Just like Trump. And again, nobody has the right. Nobody has a right to break that law. I worked in a restaurant for 19 years. I've told this story before on my last channel, friend Shai Pearson. I worked in neighborhoods where you had illegals, and the women would come into my restaurant and leave their purse by accident. And then once we went into the purse and checked the IDs, the person got 3 or 4 different IDs with 3 or 4 different names. Come on, man. You talking about skirting the law and doing all kind of stuff. Getting 2 and 3 different paychecks. Yeah, we found check stubs too with different names on them. So now you skirting the law and you're milking the system. It's ridiculous. And now Trump got to deal with this? We got to look historical. He set the thing in motion, as far as I'm concerned. He's a Democrat. I'm just keeping it real. I'm going to show you the stat. Ted Cruz gets it very wrong on recent presidential deportation numbers. The Washington Post. Okay, when was this? December 16th, 2015. 2015. 9 years ago. Watch this, people. During the 5th Republican presidential debate on Tuesday night, Ted Cruz argued that he didn't support the legislation of people who immigrated to the United States illegally, and that securing the border would help curtail the problem. He added some bits of data for emphasis. What you do is you enforce the law, he said. That means you stop the Obama administration's policy of releasing criminal illegal aliens. Do you know how many aliens Bill Clinton deported? He says 12 million. Do you know how many illegal George Bush deported? He says 10 million. Now they said those figures aren't accurate. And by the government's numbers, both Clinton and Bush have deported fewer people than President Obama. Who's lying? Who's telling the truth? Let me see if I can get off track and make that happen. Google, how many illegals did President Clinton deport? How many illegals did President Clinton deport? Now, I'm doing this because I want y'all to understand. It's hard to get the number. Maybe you can get it, put in the comment section. But let's go back to Glenn Beck. Listen to what he said. Listen tonight. Finally got something that's up to date, right? But I had to go historical. All right, watch this out. Check it out.
I can't say it because it's demonized as the worst. Well, of course it's the worst. Herbert Hoover, Republican. Eisenhower, Republican. Oh, until you get to Bill Clinton.
Herbert Hoover deported 1 to 2 million. Eisenhower deported 1.1 to 1.3 million. Now look, he got Clinton at 12 million. Now here's a statesman in this area. I would trust that his numbers are right. So why does the Washington Post say that Ted Cruz was wrong? Is this controlled media? Trying to make certain people look bad? And I don't know about you. I admire Ted Cruz. He's very articulate. Smart man. Smart man. Listen to him talk sometime. Very smart man. Is he credible? I know people, say so, folks out here compromise. Well, who ain't these days? But he's a really smart man. But look. Glenn Beck got all this here, right here. He got it for you. Let's listen to it again.
1.2 million illegals were deported. Really? Back to Mexico. Huh. Then you go to Eisenhower. I can't tell you the name of the operation, but it starts with a W and ends in a K and has ET-AC in the middle. 1.1, 1.3 million deported. Now remember, this is, I can't say what that operation was. I can't say it because it's demonized as the worst. Well, of course it's the worst. Herbert Hoover, Republican, Eisenhower, Republican. Oh, until you get to Bill Clinton, who deported 12 million or had voluntary removal. Exactly what Donald Trump is saying, that the left is saying can't happen. It will destroy everything. It'll be chaos. Cats and dogs will be sleeping together. It will be a nightmare. Except Mr. Democrat himself, the man that brought the party back from extinction, that Bill Clinton, you know, the first black president.
Woo! 12 million. Put it in the comment section if you know that this number is true. And while we got all these different stats, who is right? I know he sound like him, that much I know. Oh boy. It's out of hand, people. It's out of hand. Are we too far? This man asked that question at the end. He asked, have we gone too far to save it? What do you think? Have we gone too far to save it? I'm just scratching my head, people. You have no idea. I'm scratching my head. Trump want to send him back ASAP. And Glenn Beck's question is, do we have time between now and January 20th? October, November, December, 3.5 months. God bless America. God bless you. And again, I'm not hating on no race. I'm just saying respect the laws. Respect the laws. There's a reason why countries have laws. Nobody in their right mind should be sending historically kids over by themselves. Is it happening today? That's what they say, but that's a risk all day. From the last video I just showed you, you know there's a child issue in America and around the world where they, let's just say they're having relations with kids. They're being snatched up by the gangs, they say. So why would you send your kids over here by themselves in the first place? It's a big problem. I can't solve it. Not here. I'm just bringing awareness. Lord Jesus has to help us, though. He really does. The Lord asks us to endure unto the end. I think we're at the end. God bless you and God bless America.